What's up, guys? What's up? Happy Friday to you all. I hope you're having a fantastic rise to your day. And some of you are probably already listening to this, and you may already be at work or waking up or late. I don't know. But you guys are amazing. So, good little affirmation there. But for those who are new, welcome to the Connect 777 podcast, where human connection is everything. And I am your host, Thaddeus Sims. And today's episode, which is the 36th episode, which I must say, I think I said this already, but I mean, congrats. We're over like 1.1K, something like that. So we reached over 1.1 thousand downloads and growing. So hurrah. And yeah, so weird, but I just thought about that. I was like, wait, did I say that? Like, I know I posted that, but I don't think I said that. But anyways, getting to the topic here. So this is the 36th episode, and it is about honoring thyself. But before I really dive into this, of course, I have to share my fun fact. And I must say, I had to actually do a bit more research into this because it was a bit different. So you may want to do the same thing too. But the fun fact is, the Kingdom of Bhutan, Bhutan, uses gross national happiness as a key national indicator. So when I first read that, I was just kind of like, what? I'm like, what is that? So when I looked on it, apparently, and I'm probably butchering this, but from the quick read that I got from it is that it's someplace that focuses on spirituality, or kingdom that focuses on spirituality and compassion. And what they do is, I guess, they measure like the happiness, or there's some type of test. So I guess the gross national happiness, they measure that, and I guess whatever information they get, they apply like some type of public action towards it. So it's kind of like a big thing over there. So with just this whole spirituality and compassion, and I'm probably totally butchering this, but that was kind of like the main words that I seen, and them using that. And I guess it's a really cool thing. I really may look more into this because I never even knew about this kingdom, but it's pretty interesting. So that's the fun fact, but I highly recommend you kind of like Google that, Bhutan, gross national happiness, and boom, it'll pop up, because I don't want to butcher it. I do think it's very interesting. So I will be going back into that. Now, diving into the podcast, it is titled Honoring Thyself. And I'm pretty sure you've heard me mention this a little bit here and there in the podcast, honoring thyself. And so I may have said a little bit about it, but this episode, I really want to just hone in on it, because I really just feel like it's something that's very, very important, and a lot of us don't really do. So what does it mean to honor thyself? And just like the word is honor, and you can look at that as like a very deep respect for thyself, you, the listener. And with honoring, that is a very big word, and I like it because it just has a lot of weight to it. And basically, you want to have a very deep respect for yourself. And I'm just going to go through 5 things to do that. So essentially, number 1 is you want to set time for yourself to do the things that's important to self. So important to you. Now, it's different for everyone, but for me, I know like there's days where I have to take, fat days. I can't really be of service to nobody. I have to do whatever I need to do, be unproductive, play the game, go out on a nature walk, go for a walk, stay away from the phone, read a book. It's different things I have to do depending on whatever it is on that day to recharge myself, or basically showing a deep respect for myself. And if you kind of have a hard time with that, it's kind of like you want to treat yourself like that person you deeply respect. So you would do things a bit differently. You would set time for that person. You would, do different acts that you would differently than someone else, some random person. But instead, this is about yourself. So again, you want to set that time for yourself to do things that's important to you. And it's very different for everybody. Some people may want to, actually spend time with family. Hey, that's your day. If that's how you honor yourself, by all means do it. Some people may need to go fishing. Some people may need to just go on the boat, go on a freaking vacation. I know I'm due for one. It's many different things, but it's important to set that time for yourself to do things. And when I say set that time, you need to guard that time and own that time. Because a lot of people can just say, oh, I'm going to set this day for myself. And then stuff comes up. And then you do those things and you just kind of really don't, put that priority on yourself first. And that's what makes things a bit, I guess you can say, it's almost kind of like you're lying to yourself in a way, because if it was someone that you deeply, deeply respect and you set a time to hang out with them or meet with them, to talk with them, and you say, oh, well, this came up, so I'm not going to hang out with them. That person, that'd probably be pretty messed up, and you probably wouldn't do that. So you want to treat yourself with that importance and guard that time. So an example for me is like when I said, okay, this is my day or this is my time to do something, I don't answer my phone. Most of the time, my phone's on airplane mode. And my thing is, if someone needs to call me and it's important, or if it's an emergency, you need to call 911. You need to call the proper authorities to help you, because this is my personal day. Everyone's going to need you, but you need to take a day for your dang self. And you need to guard that time. Some of y'all may say you can't do that, but, you can. You just got to, let people know. Obviously, there's communication as well. If there's people that needs you, just communicate, hey, I need this time for myself, so try not to reach me. In a nicer way to saying that. But again, set that time, honor that time, honor yourself, and literally make sure you don't let stuff comes up. So again, you're like lying to yourself. The second thing is solitude. And I am the type of person, I love solitude, but I know there are other people who don't really like that. But solitude is very important, because solitude, it pretty much gets you in a space of silence and away from the noises and the distractions. And when you're away from all of those things that's distracting, a lot of things that are important or may need your attention that you've been too distracted to see start to arise, and you give yourself time to acknowledge them, face them, fix them, or do whatever that you need to do. And it's important. You don't have to go lock yourself in a room or a cell or something. You can do something different. Hell, take your car, drive somewhere. I always go to certain parks or somewhere by the water, and I just take my car and I just sit in the car and just think, or whatever comes to mind. Preferably the phone is either off or on airplane mode. I'm telling y'all, airplane mode is your best friend. But yeah, or the phone is just somewhere and it's just not on me. Earphones out, not listening to music, because music can be distracting as well. I know some of us like to vibe out. Hey, if you want to do it, do it. But for the solitude purposes, I recommend no music, because, hey, it gives you time to really just listen to your thoughts and emotions and things that come up. So solitude is very important, because when you're honoring yourself, you're giving yourself permission to look at the things that need your attention regarding yourself. And certain things, you'll be very surprised they may come up. It could be stuff health related. It could be something mental. It could be that thing that you've been putting off that you need to do, but you haven't been. And now it's the time to really see why you haven't done it. I'm telling you, solitude will take you so far. Now, the next thing that leads to that, which is number 3, is reflecting. And that is very important, I would say, too, as well as really honoring thyself, because it gives you a moment to just reflect on whatever it is you need to reflect on, be it your life, be it certain decision that you made, be it where you're going, where you're heading, what you're feeling. I think it's funny, because I have to ask certain people around me, do I reflect all the time? Because I find myself, every time I've talked with certain people, I'm always saying the same thing, I'm reflecting. And I just was like, gosh, is that part of my personality? I'm just reflecting. Is that part of me? But it's very important because reflection just really allows you to just really just look at what you're doing, what's going on, become aware of patterns that you're probably doing that you weren't aware of that needs to break. Just looking at how you're feeling off of certain things, certain decisions that you made. It's just really good to see where you're at right now and if it's a good space to be in. And if not, then some things need to change. And if you are in a good spot, then that's good. It's also good to reflect on what got you there so you can keep it going. So reflection is very, very important. The fourth thing is act. So you want to act on whatever comes to you in these moments of honoring thyself. So simple example for me is I'll go on a nature walk and I know, do a little exercise. So I need to improve in that area. And, I'll walk into nature a certain person and then I walk out a completely different person because I have a different mindset when I walk out. I figure some stuff out, and immediately what you want to do in that moment of honoring thyself is you want to act on what comes to you. You don't want to say, I'm gonna do this later, I'm gonna do this when I get home or whatnot. You want to act immediately because it's fresh and you're at the best way I can describe it, you're at a space or you're at a point where you're at your strongest to do that action, to get it done, to get it started. So I know for me, there's plenty of times where I was struggling, I wouldn't say, I'm gonna go struggling. I was struggling with certain decisions that I need to make, and I was just distracted with a bunch of other stuff that was going on that I really needed to give energy to these decisions. And once I did, I was okay, I'm gonna do this. I had more clarity. I felt better. It felt right. It was in alignment, and I did it. So immediately, I couldn't wait to get back out of nature and go, I think, home. And I had to immediately plan out what it was that I was doing. And once I did, I just got everything done. So something that was bothering me for about a good week and a half, it only took an hour or two to go to nature, get clarity, and immediately resolve it in that same day. Or start on resolving it that same day. So whatever it is for yourself, act on it. And sometimes, guys, you may not even need to do nothing. You may just need to just sit there and just relax. And if, you in solitude and you reflect that, God damn it, I need to relax and stop doing stuff and actually take the time to just rest, that's acting too. So resting is an action. God dang it. So do that. And lastly is really listen. And what I mean by listen is listen to the decisions that you may actually act on them. Another form of listening is really just listening to that intuition or that voice in your head, whatever your spiritual beliefs are. So whatever it is your source, listen to that source. And the type of listening I mean is not I got a feeling I'm just going to do this and do it. But it's that active listening, really asking your source or your intuition or whatever it is, really asking hey, what should I do in this? You made the decision, it came to you. Okay, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do that. Now what's next? And then just ask yourself that and listen to what comes to you. It could be a feeling. It could be an idea. It could be something. But you just want to ask yourself or ask your source, whichever works for you, whatever it is, and actually listen to that. And I guarantee you, things will just be so much easier for you. You will find, guys, that when you just listen to that, it just goes so smooth. And it's going to be an adventure because you'll get things that are super weird and you may not understand it. But when you listen and do the act, it'll make sense. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I listened. A simple example is I remember one time I was just okay, I'm going to really listen or whatever. And so it came to me to wear a different shirt. I was going to wear this orange shirt that I have because it was very comfortable, but it just came to me to just wear one of the shirts for the podcast. And I was like, okay. So I wore the shirt. I went to one of my places that I normally shop at, and I did something a bit different. I went in a line that I don't normally go to this person, but they were cool. And they were like, "Oh, that's a nice shirt." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." You know what? And it's like, "Oh, I would like to, check it out," and blah, blah, blah. And it was a good conversation. And they wanted me to write down the information for the site and whatnot. And it was just really cool. I had a really good conversation, but none of that would have never happened if, I didn't listen. But at the time, it was like, okay, that was something else. And another thing is, too, is speaking of shirts, the new shirts will be coming out very, very, very soon. We just finished the photo shoot. But speaking of, I want to do the photo shoot with me, my brother, and my sister. And it actually, no, it just came to me. Sorry. It came to me to do it with them, because my sister has her creativity and just like that's just her area of stuff, and my brother has like style, so he can dress. And I was like, oh, that'd be perfect. We did this photo shoot, and every shirt that we did the photo shoots at, it was the places that my sister chose, and it worked out perfectly, of like the different backgrounds with the different colors. And in so doing, there was a person who, it was an older guy. I don't remember his name, but it was an older guy, and he was seeing us taking the pictures, and he was like, the shirts, he was like, yeah, they stood out. And he was like, I just wanted to take a picture, because he's seen us taking the pictures with these murals and things like that for the new shirts that's coming out. And it was just pretty cool, because it was just like, wow. And if I didn't listen, I probably would have tried to do this myself. But when I listened and it came like, okay, do this with these two, it worked out like amazingly, and then some. So what I'm saying is, in those moments of really honoring thyself, you really want to listen. And listening is part of the acting as well, because you're actively asking yourself or asking your source what it is that I need to do. And really, guys, that's kind of all there is to it when it comes to honoring thyself. And yeah, it's going to be different for everybody. It'll be different for you, but you want to take that time to do that. Set that time for yourself and do the important things that you need to do. If you need to rest, do it. If you need to exercise, do it. If you need to just really paint, do it. If you need to do something different, by all means, do it. Solitude. Again, you don't have to lock yourself in a room, but hell, if you like to be outside, but you need that solitude, get in the car, go somewhere, do something different. Just be alone. That's really the goal. Reflect on your life, or whatever comes to you to reflect, and act after you get those reflections and you do those other things. Act on it. And again, I just talked about listening. And really, guys, that is it when it comes to honoring thyself. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Or if you're listening on a different platform, obviously go on social media. If you're on Instagram or Twitter, it's Thysims, THADDSIMS. And I'll post like one of the videograms that I do for this episode. And I guess just let me know what you guys think in the comments. So with that being said, you all have a fantastic rest of your day. And I will be talking to you all very soon. And for those, if you already are not on the email list on the website, I highly recommend that you do hop on there, because I'm going to start releasing some things on there. I may do even some cool like deals for those who aren't on the email list, and get you guys, you might see some sneak peeks of some other stuff. So I am like planning some different things on there, so it'd be cool, you guys on there, you'll be ahead of the game than most. So with that being said, go on the website, connect007.com, and subscribe to the email list, and who knows. So with that being said, I will talk to you all Tuesday. Oh, and lastly, welcome to the podcast as well, my friends from the UK. I've been noticing that that's been growing as well. So there's been new listeners in United Kingdom. So I would like to say welcome to the podcast, and I would love to connect more with some of you guys because it is really cool. I have been talking, and please, I should say this now. Do not laugh, but like I have been talking with some of my friends from like the UK, and I must say that the more I talk with them, it's like the American accent kind of goes away. It is so weird. I don't know why, but I love it. And it's just so cool. But I would like to say again, just welcome to the podcast. And you guys are awesome and appreciated. So I hope to visit there at some point too. But okay, I'm out. I will talk to you all Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will talk soon. Later.